It also appeals to Igbo first daughters. As someone who has an Igbo first daughter, I related to that film. Sorry, who has is an who is no. Sorry, I stop. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Student Shots,
where we explore how every masterpiece walks a tightrope between what's felt and what's flawless.
Girl, you just made that up, didn't you?
Yes, I did. But doesn't it fit our topic for the day?
I couldn't agree more. My name is Anita Pandu, and I'll be one of your hosts for the day. Co-hosting with me for the day is
Odieta Kirsten. And today we'll be exploring what matters more when producing a film. The feelings it stirs up, or the plot it's built on.
Short or plot?
Heart or hardware.
And just is the narration versus execution debate. And just to clarify, when we say execution, we mean cinematography, sound design, editing, color grading, and many more.
And when we say narration, it entails the character depth, the plot, the emotional journey, the character growth, you name it.
Well, you know where I stand, and it is definitely with the technical aspect. I mean, it carries the weight of the film, and without it, the story will not be told.
To me, Sha, story takes the win, and that's on period. Without a touching story and emotionally compelling characters, it really doesn't matter how evocative your cinematography is. If the plot doesn't move me, I'm disengaging. I'm pulling a cinematic Irish goodbye. And for those who don't know what that means, it basically means I'm ghosting the movie.
You really came prepared.
Yes, I did. And let's start at home, taking October 1 by Kunle Afolayan as a point of reference. I mean, October 1 really took the country by a storm by giving an insight into the history of Nigeria from both the pre-independence angle and the post-independence angle. The story revolves around a murder mystery, a genre really loved by all, and it successfully blends its historical context with thriller elements, which greatly increase its audience appeal. I mean, the main character, Inspector Waziri, is also carefully put together with character depth and a layered personality. That's what moves the film. Plot and character. The story also had cultural relevance, which allowed for audience resonance. It had a unique narrative, which covered both mystery and history, which is why it won the AFRIF Award for the best screenplay.
Okay. You made your point. But now let's branch into Gangs of Lagos by Jade Sola Oshiberu. That was cinematic goodness that won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. It is a movie that depicted the dangerous and lawless parts of Lagos, and it was able to capture the violence that came along with it. From the fight scenes to the makeup to the actors, and that helped to further drive the story. It allowed the audience feel what the story had to offer and allowed for them to connect with the characters. These technical aspects are what allowed the story to reach its full potential. Now, let's branch out a bit. Let's leave home and go abroad.
Yeah, sure, of course. I mean, if we're talking global films, I still stand firm on a focus on story. Let's take Manchester by the Sea by Kenneth Lonergan, for example. It won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay. And it was a moving story that goes on about the grief of losing someone and the emotional repression and guilt of a depressed uncle who had to take care of his young nephew after losing his parents, with a heavy showcasing of raw human emotion and realistic dialogue. It rose to fame, not for its flashy light work, but for its amazing story. Take again 12 Angry Men by Sidney Lumet, for example. The film was set in a single location, with no effects and no action. It's a film about jurors debating a murder case, but yet it's considered a classic studied in film and law schools worldwide. Its success and reputation was earned not from its technical execution, but from its good story.
Okay, if I wanted more of a story, I would go pick up a book. But now let's go to Gravity by Alfonso Cuarón. The plot is simple, plain, if I do say so myself. It's just about an astronaut struggling to survive in space, but the technical execution was marvelous, creating an unprecedented sense of tension and realism with its long shots and visual effects. It's because of its technical execution that it won seven, mind you, seven Academy Awards, including Best Cinematography and Best Director. If that is not technical winning over story, I do not know what is. And I'm
Okay.
sure our audience would agree.
Okay, but if Ryan Stone didn't have a backstory, no one would have a care in the world, whether she floated off or whatever.
Still, don't behave as though the technical aspect doesn't make a film momentous. Again, take Baraka by Ron Frick. This documentary, featuring no conventional narrative, presents footage of people, places, and things from around the world, from wilderness, from chaotic cities to barren wilderness. The movie takes viewers around the globe to witness a variety of spectacles in both natural and technological realms. It received numerous awards and accolades, including the FIPRESCI Festival Prize at the Montreal World Film Festival. The film employs no plot or dialogue and is purely visual and musical, putting forward the power of cinematography. As per usual,
Strong take, yes. But get what's, guys.
we were only kidding.
We both believe and agree that the best movies are a collaboration of a strong story and a killer execution.
As much as we all love a good story, and trust me, I and Kirsten do, we cannot forget the fact that a good film takes a good story and good execution to become a blockbuster. While the story is the bread and the cheese, the execution is what cooks it up to a hot, steamy pizza that we can all enjoy.
Yes, the executive team brings the narrative, and then the crew takes that narrative and generates it into what we see and love today. They give a balance to the future of filmmaking, just like we most likely saw in the movie Black Book. The story was thrilling and amazing on its own, but joining hands with the technical team is what really gives us the cinematic goodness that we have all come to love.
Now, let's further delve into why this balance is important.
Yes. A strong story executed poorly can end up ineffective. That is, it can lose its meaning because of unclear audio or overlapping sounds or terrible pacing. Poorly executed technical elements can really dishearten the audience from watching, even if they are invested in the story.
In the same way, a perfectly executed film without meaning to it leaves the audience emotionally detached, with an empty feeling inside. This feeling makes the film easily forgettable and leaves the audience asking, so what? Why did I invest my money into watching this film? Was it even worth it?
Yes. Today, audiences expect authenticity in storytelling. That is, story with meaning and emotion to it. They also expect professionalism, which is basically your high quality execution. Being able to balance these elements is what helps a film meet the audience's expectations.
Then again, I feel it's important to explicitly state why the balance is necessary by delving into the advantages and disadvantages of story and technicality, respectively.
By placing focus on the narrative of a film, I feel like you effectively build audience resonance and connection to the film, successfully making them invested in this film. They remember the film, effectively creating a sense of longevity and timelessness.
Yes. It's also noteworthy that a good story doesn't necessarily require expensive technicality and equipment. With rich character arcs and character depth, a film successfully engages its audience, but then prioritizing the story can lead to some disadvantages.
Yes, films that are purely story driven can seem boring or slow, especially to viewers who are in search of some fast paced action. It may lack the visual appeal that some viewers seek. It can also lose its marketability because it may lack the wow factor that modern audiences seek, something that really cannot happen with a full dependency on story.
Okay. In the same vein, placing focus on technicality has its ups and downs, of course. The remarkable visuals, sound, and editing can help create unforgettable experiences for the audience, therefore enhancing audience engagement. But then again, technicality also helps make breakthroughs in the industry with new techniques such as CGI, VR, AR, you name it.
Yes, it's also important to note that technicality is overly important for some certain genres, such as fantasy, sci fi, action, horror, and experimental films, such as Mami Wata by CJ Obasi. Without the technical aspects in these genres, they would hold no strength or have no standing in the industry.
Before I get into what I want to say next, I also want to talk about avant-garde films, like such as Mami Wata now. Like avant-garde films really base their work on technicality.
Yes, they do.
But then again, it's like it feels like they base it more on that, and that also shows us that story and balance needs to be together because you kind of see the avant-garde films and then you love the cinematography, you love the color grading, but then again you don't understand the story. I feel like that further points that we need that balance between
Yes, we
story
really do.
and technical.
Yes, beautiful.
Now, there are downs to overly asserting focus in this aspect. For starters, it's high cost as it may require not just a large budget, but a large team and expensive equipment. It can also come off as hollow or empty as the audience needs a compelling story to back up the amazing visuals. Without it, the film loses its meaning, with its substance sacrificed for spectacle.
I believe we have been able to show you just how much these two aspects depend on one another. Effectively balancing the two leads to a greater impact of the film, wider reception and appeal, and enhanced timelessness of the film.
A movie that so greatly shows the amazing connection between story and technical has to be Lionheart by Genevieve Naji. It effectively carries out this balance. It had a touching story that appealed to women, especially those who felt stripped of their title. It also appealed to Igbo first daughters, who did not have the right to claim anything, even though they were capable. Genevieve connected with the audiences with her amazing film and helped bring the story to life as she used her editing, direction, cinematography, and use of language to bring it all together. The narration and execution worked perfectly to create the first Nigerian Netflix original we know today.
Yes, I feel like another film that really showcases this balance is Parasite by Bong Joon-ho. You know me, an avid lover of Asian cinema.
Of course.
Anyways, its narrative delves into class divide and societal and moral tension through its compelling plots. The execution, such as the symbolic production design and its flawless editing, significantly raised the emotions portrayed in the film, just enough so that it balances itself out perfectly. Story depends on the technical and vice versa, with the results being a film that resonates on all levels, portraying true balance. Parasite has won over 50 awards, including Academy Awards for Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay. And that goes to show the genuine cinematic balance which this film showcased.
I couldn't agree more. Now, we'll be showing you another film. Well, this one is more of an animation, and this is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This balanced the cinematic experience wonderfully. It used both story and technical elements to elevate the cinematic experience for its viewers, and the animation style helped to achieve what the story was aiming to tell. The story follows young Miles Morales and his journey to become his own version of Spider-Man. And in the animation, we can see how the animation style slightly improves with how confident he gets. and that helps carry the audience along with the story. The narrative and execution teams working together could also be seen in how the characters were depicted and how their distinct styles match their storylines.
Yes. Taking this balance even further would be the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Underneath the chaotic multiverse of the film lies a heartfelt tale about identity, generational trauma, and acceptance. The mother-daughter dynamic of the narrative puts heart and soul into the story, while its wild visuals and erratic displays of the multiverse with seamless editing serves to elevate the story to even greater heights. With over 45 awards to its name, the film has also won 2 Academy Awards that spell out cinematic balance: Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay.
While the story is what it is on the inside, the execution is the outside. Just like our soul and body, one cannot function effectively without the other. You need both to avoid a hollow heart in your audience.
So, if you are a filmmaker like us, don't obsess over shots and forget the plots. And also don't obsess over a script and forget the visuals. A great script needs a strong execution to move the audience. And when you do get it right, your film becomes the epitome of timelessness.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Student Shots.
Go rewatch your favorite movie and ask yourself, was it the plot or the shot?
Whichever it may be, remember the best films balance them out.
Because cinema is not just about the lights, camera, action.
It's also cuts, composition, and grading. Click, click. Catch you guys later in the next episode.